All right, everybody, and welcome back to round three. This is very interesting from last round. Well, maybe not that interesting. We got TJP versus TJP deck in the as the last feature match. Same old hat, right? Um, but in this round, we're actually going to get the challenger, I suppose, in Combre aggro with a couple of Aegis units and whatnot, like Terius and yeah, and Crown Watch Paladin and whatnot. And we're gonna get that, and we're gonna go up against TheRocke, who's on. I thought it was the Bergen for a second. Uh, let's figure out what TheRocke is on. Sorry about that. Yep. Oh, and they're ready to go. Well, we'll see what's going on at any rate. So Spiff of course takes that mulligan because it's a bad hand with one power. And now Rockstar is on. Okay, they are on Rakano. I thought maybe they would be on TJP, because that's what a lot of TRS is on. TheRocke is on TRS, but I wanted to check, and it's a good thing I did check, so I wouldn't embarrass myself. So they are on Rakano. So yeah. So Spiff has the classic double Furious Magnaventure draw. And also drew a removal spell, so looking pretty for Spiff. Um, and Rock will see their hand cam in a second here. And yeah, they have a okay draw. Okay draw. They have some removal spells. They've got an Olin, which can put a Varbuk on top, potentially take out an Aegis on a Terius. We'll see. Biff gets to attack on next one. Maybe TheRocke trades with the Iron Priestess. We'll see.
I would not trade a Crown Watch Paladin for an Iron Priestess. So
Yeah, we'll see.
yeah, so
It
if
might be
I
something where you kind of have to
if
attack into it, because
if I was
otherwise
in
you're not getting any value.
if I was in Spiff's shoes, I'd just jam the Lunar Claw and get
Right.
the get the Priestess off the board and get my War Cry. But then that means missing out on 3-drop Javon.
Yeah, you're also missing out. Yeah, on getting Javon out early so that you can get a potential attack in with Javon and buff up some units. Like,
Right.
so Oni Insider comes down. Okay, let's get to Warhelm. You can actually use this Lunar Claw and actually take out the 3/1. And
Without
lock
the
out
attack spell.
something. Yeah, you can potentially lock something out. Well, you won't really lock it out because they're just gonna attack back and like get rid of the armor, but you could potentially lock out something for like a turn or something. We'll see what they decide to do eventually here. Okay, they just decide to attack in. Do they have finest hours in the deck? Maybe they're bluffing a finest hour. They have 2 finest hour and 4 Gavel's insights in the deck. So yeah, TheRocke has to be careful here.
So honestly, a double block then would.
Yeah, it would play around. Well, yeah,
Yeah, like a double block plays around the finest hour and it plays around
the
any
Gavel's
other
insight.
combination. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay, they just decide to block the 2/2. I'll see that there's nothing doing.
Nope,
Oh,
there's the double block.
there's the double block. Yeah, I mean the double block plays around it. It'll be a 2 for 2 if they had the
Right.
finest. So that would be fine. And Smith takes up the 3/1. Make sure that don't get any value. They're gonna minimize the amount of value that they're gonna get off of this Iron Priestess.
So out comes Lunar Claw number 1 from TheRocke, takes out that Terius, and then okay,
Slaps on the Warhelm. It does produce a bigger weapon when they eventually get it.
Right.
Spiff unfortunately drew
no power.
no power that turn, so they can't get the Magniventure chain. Like, I mean, they're definitely gonna inscribe one of these. Or wait, they have 2 Lunar Claws, right? Yeah.
Yeah, those aren't Scale Swarm controls.
They look so similar.
Yeah, from the top of the.
Yeah.
Definitely from the top of the card, it's not exactly the easiest hand read, that's for sure. So back to TheRocke, who can just take out the remaining 1 armor from the Lunar Claw with his Lunar Claw, and then what? Looks like 3 and 3 is the influence count, which means at least 3 power.
They could play this Olin and put, I don't know. They do play the Olin. They're thinking about maybe they put like a Magniventress on the top just as a preparation, but like putting something on the top isn't like the greatest here, right? Because the things that they want to put on the top, maybe they put a Scale Storm Patrol on the top. Who knows, right?
Well, I mean, look at that influence count. It's 3 and 3. Was it the case that Rock played 3 duels? If that wasn't 3
I guess
duels,
so. I guess so.
It's at least 4 power. So, question being, what went to the top? Oh, a Magniventress. And
I forgot how much power is in play. Maybe they.
So let's see. If you're in Rock's situation, another Lunar Claw definitely doesn't do the trick here because 5 health, bigger than 4 attack. Oni Dasher, not really. Does Rock have 5 power in play? If he played 2 duels, then no, that's only 4 power. So then you're back to the who played the Magniventress first has the huge advantage because they get to swing first and swing through the other person's Magniventress. Yeah, not a lot of good options here. And if you go with the Oni Dasher and charge, most likely you don't have enough power for the...
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 total power. This Magniventress on Spiff's side is going to swing in as a 6/8. Cannot be blocked.
It's going to be even more than that if they play the
Lunar
right?
Claw. Or the second Magniventress, yes.
Yeah.
Big Dino coming through.
9/11.
Crunch.
Coming in. Crunch. That is pretty satisfying when you get 8 or more power. And it just crunches
occasionally.
in there.
Not when you're trying to do gauntlet runs. So, now what? That is 6 total attack. So, Rock needs to buff his Magniventress. But if that Magniventress then connects, then Spiffirific's Magniventresses are stuck as 3/5s, barring a Lunar Claw. Which, of course,
so
Spiffirific has.
They would have to double pump this, or potentially like they could single pump. Yeah. They could just attack in and use the Lunar Claw as a finishing off mechanism. So they could double pump.
Right.
Yeah. So.
But right now,
or they
Rock
could just put
absolutely must swing through and break this armor. The question is, does he do it via Lunar Claw or does he do it via weapon from the Iron Priestess?
Yeah, they could use the weapon. Well, they could either double pump, use the weapon, or use the Lunar Claw to. Yep, and but it de-incentivized them if they just make the attack. So maybe they make like sort of cheeky chump or something like that, and then they keep the armor, which is not particularly great for Rock. Whereas like they're gonna have to lose a Magniventress if they use a pump.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
basically
jeez. Why
how do
am I
you
talking about double pumping here? They could just single pump with the with a with a Battlefront Dasher. Oh, Chad, I'm tired.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
question was how are we pumping up this Magniventress to swing through the enemy Magniventresses? So goes with the 2-cost 1/1 weapon essentially from the Oni Dasher, and elects not to do any, and then goes with the second Oni Dasher just as a vanilla 2/1. That's I'm not sure about that play. There's a world in which it's defensible and a world in which there isn't. I can see it going both ways. Pair of 8/10s coming across. I cannot imagine sacrificing. I cannot imagine ROKE sacrificing his Magniventress in some sort of effort to block. So the 2/1 Dasher is just going to chump one of these and gain 8.
Gain 8 health. No, notably, Spiff does have this Gavel's Insight in hand, so ROKE has to be careful next turn because of any overwhelm shenanigans, right?
Right. So Steyer's Eyes is the draw for the turn.
Are they gonna gain some health here, or are they just?
I wouldn't. I would actually ditch the weapon, or I'm not sure which weapon, because there's a world in which, like, I would go for the 5th power because there's an Inferno Phoenix in hand. So ROKE ditching the weapon is going to drop his own Lunar Claw to pump up the Magniventress. And I have to assume blow up Spifferific's armor. You can't just let 3 power go unspent. No way. So this is definitely getting played in lock mode. And is going to hit that Gavel's Insight. Will Spifferific actually play the Gavel's Insight in response? So now, what is the exact text on Lunar Claw? Is it any non-unit or is it just spells? Because if it's non-unit, then
yeah, it's non-unit because they can lock out a weapon too.
Okay, but not relic. Okay, so
no, I think they can lock out. So I mean,
wow,
we have the power of the internet. 1 second.
Spifferific electing to chump away a Magniventress just to keep the armor.
Non-unit, non-power card from the enemy's players.
Okay, so yeah, so ROKE was in the tank about possibly locking up this dinosaur nest.
Right.
But yeah, Spifferific actually chumped a Magniventress. Chump blocked with a Magniventress. I would never do that.
Do you think you think that he should have potentially played this Desert Marshal pre-combat? Because it's gonna be quite an attack here, right? Oh, but he definitely definitely got rewarded for that play, probably.
This is a big attack. So, ooh, I like this. So chump the Magniventress, Desert Marshal the Phoenix, eat the Phoenix with the Magniventress. So this is a 6/8. So if it gets blocked by the enemy Magniventress, the Lunar Claw will finish it off. So ROKE sees this, doesn't give the opportunity. Scale Sworn Patrol is the last card in hand for the ROKE, but with no power, a 3/2 for 3 vanilla just isn't it. And now with a Dinosaur Nest, making dinos every turn, then Spifferific has a source of chump blockers. But this Oni Insider being picked up means I don't think that dinosaur nest is long for this world. Get it off the
Yeah.
field because it will punish you when that Magnaventris grows. So I think the play this turn absolutely must be contracting the Oni Insider on the dinosaur nest on
You can
Rock's
also
part.
play. You can play the Skills from Patrol Core Combat as well. Or before you play the Insiders, so that you get some value out of this turn.
Right. So the Lunar Claw is going to take out the dinosaur, the baby dino from the nest, and yeah, Rock's going to go with your line, Theo, of
Yeah.
the Scalesworm Patrol, and then
Yeah.
the Insider has to
Kills
take out the
the.
dinosaur nest.
Yep. I mean, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good line, and definitely puts Rock firmly in driver's seat. Gonna pump up the. Ooh, maybe could have played the 2/2.
So Scalesworm Patrol on Spifferific's end, trying
Yeah.
to buff up the Magnaventris. I, it's not going to get there this turn. Might get there in another turn.
3/10. So yeah, you'd have to triple block to kill this Magnaventris at this point, right?
So yeah, this Magnaventris is going to 10 health on Rock's end, and is swinging in as an 8/10. So yeah, it will be a triple block that will be necessary. But if that Magnaventris does swing in,
Yeah.
then it can take out the Iron Priestess and the enemy Magnaventris. Is that a good trade? I'm not sure it is. Because then
not that
Rock
good
is
of a trade, is it?
just
Might
left
just
with
attack with the 2/2 flyer. Right? He knows about this this
the
Gavel's Insight. Gavel's Insight, like he does not want that Gavel's Insight to
unlock.
to unlock. So it's kind of a tricky situation. It does have this power in hand, which he drew. Did he already play a hand? Because that can pump up like the flyer or something.
No, that wasn't played yet. No,
Yeah.
no power play yet.
So it definitely pumps it there, so that you can't even wait. So they can't triple block it now, right? 4 or 5.
9,
No,
11?
they can. They can. They can. Yeah,
it's
they
still
can.
in triple block range.
Still in triple. Exactly. So, okay, they are gonna attack there. I think this triple block's gonna come out. Nope. Just decides to jump. Okay. That's fine too.
Okay, Steyer's Eyes is the draw for the turn. Do we see the Chrome Watch tactic? No.
Alright. Can't keep power on top, even though it does pump up your units.
Yeah, so Spifferific digging for something bigger than a +1/+1 to Scalesworn and a +1/+1.
Also, you have to bottom it because you could hit a
unit with a Javon, right?
Yeah.
So we're in a board stall.
Yeah, it's board stall. There's no way that TheRocke can just attack through this.
But Rock needs to attack through this because otherwise that Javon's going to bury him.
6/8. So that is still 11. That means that you still have to do a triple block, which means that on a so that's 9. So they can take out, like, for example, they could take out the 6/5 and the 4/4. That's not the worst.
Not the worst. And Spifferific has no armor, so Spifferific's Magnaventris isn't all that threatening.
Right. But also, Spiff has to think about TheRocke potentially having a finest hour in hand. I'm sure you can play around it now, especially since if they do that, it's still just a 2-for-1. It's not a 3-for-1 if you do it. So
there's the triple block. I would not give up Javon. I would not have thrown Javon in there.
Well, he's thinking about the fact that there might be another Magnaventris like on the horizon.
If you're Rock, which 2 units do you take?
Well, you take Javon as one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So Magniventrous advantage to spiffirific, and air advantage to spiffirific.
Yep. And keeping that flyer alive is actually, it may have not looked like super strong because you could get more value, but I mean, Spiff has recognized that he's essentially the beatdown right now, right? Like he could end the game very very quickly. This Olin's gonna be quite strong. Let's see, he gets a Magniventrous, right? And it's
It
gonna be
has
a
to get a
buffed
Magniventrous.
up. It's gonna be a pumped up Magniventrous too.
Right.
By +3/+3, right?
Yeah. I can't see anything else worth picking up because the no flying rule says, nope, you can't get a Phoenix with this.
Yeah, that would be busted. Ooh.
Ooh, this time sketch.
Yeah. It's kind of a risky attack though, because the Magniventrous, like, I guess it's no worse than anything else, right? Um, because it's gonna be stunned next turn anyway,
Yeah.
right?
Like as soon as you saw the Olin, like that Magniventrous might as well be face up. So there's the stun on the Steyer's Eyes, gain of 3 armor.
And
How
nothing
much can an
truly
Ace Space
is.
do?
Man.
Elect to pass. I am not sure about that. Like, even if it cost me my Scale Swarm Patrol, that's how much damage am I pushing? 8?
That's 8 damage. Yeah, it puts him down to 5. Like that's a lot of damage. It's true. Yeah. And
No,
now,
because the soldier. So it would have been it would have pushed 5 damage. So at that point, it's probably not a good idea to throw out 2 cards.
Yeah, it's not lethal in 2 turns, right? Or it is lethal in 2 turns, but not in a single turn from that game.
So now the Steyer's Eyes got unlocked, and yeah, Rock is out of options and scoops them up.
All right, Biff
Game 2.
kept the flyer alive, and the flyer was what won him the game.
Yeah, the counter to Magniventrous is, way to beat face when opponent has a Magniventrous on the table.
Well played by Spiff. And now we're gonna check out a game 2 in a moment here. When our players get set up, they are in the game for sure. And Spiff has a this is I wouldn't keep this hand, but this is what I call a collector sample hand. Yeah, not this hand, but the previous hand where you're missing an influence, but you keep anyway because you expect to draw the influence. The hand is fine. Yeah, that's the collector sample hand.
So if Spiff is on the draw, then an all depleted hand is just rough.
Yeah.
This hand from Rock, double
Also
depleted
kind of
power.
rough.
Oh no!
Jeez, this is one of the things that was kind of not so good. Let's say about the Rakano decks from
A literally unplayable 6.
yeah. So I don't think they were playing like Diplo Seals, for example, right? And that's
Well,
tough.
luckily a top deck Scale Sworn Patrol at least is
Yeah.
the first Justice source. We're gonna need a second.
Yeah, we're gonna need a second exactly. And unfortunately, that means that basically you discard it. You're basically on a mulligan to 5 because you already have the 5 power anyway for Phoenix. Like you need another Justice.
Right.
Check out their. Oh no, they're playing 4 diplomatic seals now. Okay, there I stand corrected. By yeah, so they're playing the 4 diplo seals now. Rock just got unlucky. But did they get unlucky? I know. Pressure's gonna come in. Oh, rest.
Huh?
They can double block this, yeah. They can double block this. Now Swift has the finest, so they can still attack with this both. Really. Oh. This is nice. Nice play. And then the
Yep,
Rock's double
doesn't.
blocks and gets the 2-for-1. And it's gonna be the 2-for-1. I think. Like the Rock may not, but like, what's that accomplishing, right? Like they either have it, they don't. They get a 1-1 out of it. Like you're not gonna be able to attack past that 1-1 or multiple 1-1s. Like you just
Right.
if they're just gonna
Yeah.
chump forever. Okay.
Yeah.
And they
So.
go for the double block and nope. Okay.
Yeah,
Against
Rock's
it.
between a wall and a hard place here.
Yeah.
So you block, you get blown out by the. You double block, you get blown out by the finest tower. You don't double block, it's a stream of 1-1s.
Yeah.
It looks to rip off the band-aid. It's going to get blown out. Ugh.
Yep. And do they top deck? Oh, they top deck a justice source. It is technically a justice source.
It is
They're
indeed
probably-
technically a
they're
justice
just-
source.
I mean, they can just discard this
Fire sigil.
fire sigil. Not useful anymore, right? But notably they can't just play this any of their cards in hand besides this owning Insider this turn. So that's
Well, it's better
a
than
little
nothing.
unfortunate. Yep. All right, Insider's gonna come down. Probably gonna make a Warhelm, and yeah. Scalescore Patrol is a fine draw. Yeah.
Scalesworm Patrol is a phenomenal draw here.
Wonder what they're gonna pump. Yeah, that's also they can't. This gets it out of the double block range.
Correct.
Although they could have gotten the flyer outside of trade range too. That would have been fine as well. But
True, but let's just
Yeah.
ride the Terius to victory here.
yep, and they get to play a 1-1 this turn too. Okay, so they. Nah, I think that those trades are kind of forced at this point, right?
Right.
They might
can't
not
double
block
block Terius.
I don't think you can even like let this 2-2 for the through. Like you're never gonna attack with this 3-1. You're like, and like the Scalestone Patrol is just gonna pop up next turn. Like you,
Right. This 3-1 isn't doing anything else with its life.
like you have to assume that Spiff is on mostly power in hand, right? Otherwise, you're gonna lose the game anyway. If they have any actual cards, so you're gonna assume that this Scalestone Patrol is gonna pump following the turn.
I mean, it could just be like, more early game drops. That'd be nicer. That'd be less scary than power, because at this point, every single power for Spiff is 3/3 is +3/+3 distributed. 2 on the board, 1 on top
Yeah.
of the deck. So
That's called
a
power
torch.
creep.
A
torch.
torch. That is
Ooh,
an
a torch.
excellent pickup. Pop Teresa's Aegis and then Varbuck her.
That's yeah. Okay.
Or we can
Yeah.
duh,
We can
we
do
can
this.
pop it
Yeah.
pop it
we
with
can do
Magnum
the-
Ventress towards the
Magnum-
Scales one.
But they still can't block this turn, so that's it's fine. You know?
No, but that's not too big a deal. Like, the loss of the armor is unfortunate, but
All right. Firebuck taking out this Terius is gonna put the game fairly back in the Rock's favor. All right.
yeah, Rock, you don't have armor. I'm not sure about that swing.
Also, you want to play Varbuck before combat anyway
Right.
to attack, right?
Right.
Right. Hold on a second.
Right.
If they can't yeah. They can't chump. They would have to chump, right? They can't.
Yeah,
block this.
Yeah, can't trade with the Varbuck because of Valor. So, question being,
Oh, are they
what's
gonna?
remaining?
Are they gonna play this Warhelm? I think you should probably save the Warhelm for like a top deck
Save
Mega
save the
Ventress.
Warhelm. You don't want to send in the Magnum Ventress anyway, because it'll just trade off with the Iron Priestess, and then that's just bad. Because then the
Yeah.
weapon goes on a 1/1 that can then block the Varbuk. Whoa!
Um.
No swing with a Varbuk?
Oh. Okay. Cool.
I disagree.
Uh. Yeah. Now Spiff is on this train, right? The
Yes,
the
Spiff is on
Javon
the
train.
Spiff is on the power sync train. Hey,
Yeah.
I have things to do with my power. You don't. Well, I can sit here. You can't. Okay.
Ooh. Helena's
Top deck
fine, but
Helena.
it's not as good as it looks though, right? On
Uh,
paper, because like they can get in 5 damage and then 3
no,
damage to this.
you pop up you pop up the Varbuk, and
Yeah,
then you play the power. You play the Warhammer on Helena.
well, that's true.
I don't understand why that didn't happen.
They're looking for exactly Magnaventress. I don't think they yeah, I think that
Holding
was
you for a
probably a
Scale
perfect.
Swine Patrol, I disagree with that.
But all right. So Spiff once again is using all their power every single turn, and hmm, they do have a finest hour, which is really nice. Okay, so they got their 5/5 up. This puts them in a comfortable range of 25 back to 25. Here's the
Un-
Magniventress, but is it as good? Like that was the reason to hold on to the Warhelm, but is it that strong here? It's
uh,
okay.
I mean it's decent.
Yeah.
You know, if you sure, just assume you're gonna top deck a second Magnaventress. I mean, now that has to come out, and the question is, what do you stun? I think it
Probably
has to be, the
yeah.
Iron Priestess. Put the Warhelm on because it's not getting any better. So all the endurance attacks are free,
Right.
and then the Varbuk, well, you're not leaving him back to block.
Let's see. But you're not technically on lethal. Well, why wouldn't you attack with at least the Helena?
A 4/3 Valor absolutely must attack in, I think. And
Yeah.
yeah, you can't afford to play around combat tricks at this point. But yeah, that finest hour is going to come out. So now Air Advantage Spifferific.
Okay. The Spiff top deck say okay, so they activate. Yeah. I'm gonna try to get I think they're
Scales
gonna
One
play the
Patrol.
Magniventress. Yeah, it's done. And
Chip in because why not?
well, they have to get rid of the armor for
Right.
sure. Um, that wasn't a fantastic top deck. It's another chumper. It's another little value engine, but I don't think it was necessarily that fantastic. They notably they do get a
That swing with
another
a
war cry
4/6
added.
Magnaventress, I am not sure about that.
Well, they got him. Got the bluff on. All right, train is coming. Double Dino Nest. Okay, so they get rid of the rest of the armor. Are they just gonna dump these Dino Nests? They
Sure.
are, and there's like if they just chump or do some stuff, like I feel like Spiff is just gonna win the game. Like
Yeah, like I don't
based
want to
upon
say
the fact
Rock
that
is flooding. I don't want to say Rock is flooding out because
yeah
Spiff drew more power. It's just Spiff had things to do with the power, and Rock didn't. So
yeah they've spent their power every single turn. That's one thing that I think that they do
well,
in
I
whoa
guess back to the
whoa
game.
hi chat. All right.
Okay, so Okay, so
It's
Dino
all
Nest
good.
drops a pair of killers. The dino from the
Pretty,
that is the Dino
pretty
Nest.
good. That's gonna be very, very good in a few turns. Ooh, and
Now every single power just pumps up the Sire's Eyes. And then,
yep.
yeah,
Yep.
Rock is just drunk dead. So,
Yep.
yeah, 2-0 to
Spiff,
Spifferific
GG.
with Combray aggro.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a pretty solid matchup from this end. It felt like they were kind of like the control deck in the matchup, right? Because Wakana's a little faster. Um, and they definitely like, for example, like playing towards Javon is very good in the deck. In at least that matchup for sure. Do we have any other backup matches? Let's see.
There's probably some tradition controlled match going on somewhere.
Yeah, probably. Oh, is that it? That's it. That's the last match. Okay.